Several statements financial slaves make. If you make these statements, then you are probably a financial slave. You are very far away from financial freedom and you're just making excuses on how and why you will not achieve the goals and objectives financially that you set yourself out to achieve. The first thing is, I will save when I am older. That is a statement made by financial save. I will save when I am older. No one tells you, but I am going to tell you. The faster you start saving, the sooner you start saving, the quicker you start making a lot more value from what is called compound interest. Compound interest, it is one of those magical things, if I can use the word magic, things that are wondrous and the common person may not be able to fathom. If you put money long enough, if you put money with some interest accruing to it, and if that interest is possibly more than inflation rate, then whatever you're going to get is going to be exponentially more the longer you take. Actually, if you put an amount today, 100,000, you put it now and you leave it somewhere accruing an interest of 10%. You just leave it 10%, and then the interest is again compounded and it increases. After a period of 7 years, it will double in value. Just doing nothing, the 100,000 has doubled in value. Now think about it. What if you are continuously putting into that account? You will end up creating a lot of value. But sometimes financial slavery, sometimes some thoughts that come from the devil tell you that you can save when you are older. Yeah, you need to start thinking about investing when you are 50, when you are this. As soon as you start, you're going to actually to set yourself up to success. I've done a video on how saving and investing in your 20s and 30s is going to free you financially by the time you are 50. You need to look at such videos that are going to help you understand that saving now, the best time to save, if it is not yesterday, it is today. If it is not today, it is now. You need to start putting money in investments that are generating value. That stupidity or statement that people make, that I will save when I am older, is something that financial slaves make. Are you a financial slave? Let us continue. The other thing is, I need to say thank you to myself. Now that you worked a whole month, you made some money. Do you need to really spend all that money within a week? You want to give yourself thanks. You want to enjoy. You want to party. In fact, you have called your friends for a party, and the money that you made for a whole month, you want to finish in a weekend. That is stupidity. Financial enslavement. Even if you're going to say, oh, it's my birthday, so this weekend I want to splurge. Oh, it is this and this day. Oh, I'm reaching 40. I'm not against you enjoying and celebrating achievements of birthday, but I am against you taking all the money that you could be putting towards saving and investments to generate value, which will be good for yourself, and putting that money for frivolous expenses, especially where you entertain people and yourself, and end up in poverty, taking loans and debts on the side to be able to come through the month. In fact, you have more month at the end of the money, and because of your problematic thinking or trying to tell yourself thank you, you end up in financial stress. In fact, only tell yourself thank you from any money that you generate from your passive income. If it is money that you have received from the government, from the treasury bills that you have, that money that you received as interest, go and do that. In fact, take all of it and go and do and enjoy yourself, because you have already invested. Maybe you enjoy some fruits of the labor, so that now you can feel more excited about saving and investment in the future. But only financial slaves eat all their financial seed. Money that you earn from your salary, from the sweat of your hands, is money that is seed capital. Put it in investment, bury it in the sun, let it grow, let it be fruitful, let it create fruits, and then from those fruits, then you can start enjoying yourself. Otherwise, you're a financial slave if you're using all your seed to eat and end up in poverty. Then the other thing is people saying, because of my age, because of my position, people who are in management, my friends, my colleagues, I will do this because they are doing it. Everyone is buying a 4-wheel drive, so you want to buy a 4-wheel drive. Everyone is buying a new car, so you want to buy a new car. Stupidity sometimes comes in the way of the thoughts that you come to generate because you want to justify yourself. Buy a car because you want, not because people are doing it, not because so and so did it, not because people in this group and this circle are doing it, not because your friends are doing it. In fact, if your friends are pushing you to start spending money aimlessly on things that do not make sense, maybe it is time to make a new group of friends. Don't do things because people do them. Remember, people are walking different financial journeys. What if that person had a very wealthy uncle who died and bequeathed him millions of shillings that they can be able to use? It is windfall gain that they had not even planned for. But you, with your stupidity and with the wisdom that you think you already have, you take the money that you have earned and start buying things because people are buying. Don't do things because somebody else did. Do because it is the right thing to do and you have made the conscious financial decision to do it. Because some of these things people make are financial enslavement things. Don't make statements that are looking like financial enslavement. Be wise and do the right thing. The other thing is, it's December. Let's celebrate. Emotional spending. You spend money because of emotions. Only slaves are captive to their emotions. Every time you do things because you feel like, because your heart tells you, because you're excited, you make financial contracts in a bar because you are drunk. You started committing money. You started signing checks. You went with your checkbook to the bar. You went with your money in cash to a bar. Every time you do such things in excitement of emotion, you are actually becoming a financial slave. You are talking like a slave, you are looking like a slave, and you will become a financial slave when you get into retirement. Because emotions are things that you need to keep far from your spending. Use your money consciously. In fact, discipline yourself to only use the money that you have instead of allowing money to use you. Because people who are used by money live very terrible lives. People who are controlled by money. Every time you don't have money, oh, you are moody. All of a sudden you cranky, you can't allow anyone to pass you. You are just terrible with everyone just because you don't have money in your pocket. Then when you have money in your pocket, you're excited and happy, you're calling everyone, you're partying everywhere. You're controlled by money in terms of emotions. These statements of let's celebrate is December, let's celebrate money has come in the pocket, is something that you need to get rid out of your vocabulary as regards to financial things. The other thing that I hear people want to say is, I need new things. Who told you need new things? Why do you need a new thing? If you are not in a good financial space, don't even think about buying new things. Buy second-hand things. Buy a second-hand phone. Buy a second-hand car. This thing I need. That is the problem. I need new things. I need new things. I remember somebody talking to me and telling me that they are going to buy a shirt for 6 to 8,000 shillings. A shirt, not a suit, not a full outfit, a shirt. And this is not now where such prices could be possible. That was some years back, 10 plus years back. Somebody buys a shirt for 6,000, 8,000 shillings. And the person is not in the best financial space. Why? Because if I buy this shirt, I'll have confidence. If you get confidence from the clothes that you wear, then every time that you don't have money, I cannot buy certain things, you will always feel less of yourself. Do not allow your own personal abilities or capacity be dictated by what you wear, that now you feel better because you're wearing this, because you're having this. Don't be dictated to think that you are a summation of the things that you have and how new they are. You are better than that. Those are financial enslavement terms and statements people make that keep them in poverty. Then the other thing is, I will think about retirement when I am older. It's the same thing with being the first statement. You are getting older. When you get older, you work less, you spend more because of medical and all these things, and you cannot be able to increase the amount of work that you do. Even your mental faculties start getting slower and slower. Your physical faculties start getting slower and slower. And because you might live to 100, if you retire at 60, almost half of your life will be in retirement. So it's time you start planning for it. And almost half of your life is in retirement, you do not want to run out of money. A certain study I was sharing the other day is majority of Kenyans run out of their retirement funds after 7 years. Majority of Kenyans, 7 years later, people are poor. You retire at 60, at 67, you are starting to beg for bread. There's nothing as bad as begging for bread, and even worse, when you beg for bread from your own children. There's nothing as bad as that. There's nothing as humiliating as always telling and calling your people and telling them, oh, please send me things, please send me things, or using threats and telling them, send money or I send curses. Those are not the statements that you need to make, simply because you never thought about how half of your life will be spent, how you're going to live, where you're going to live, what you're going to eat. If at all you start making money, start thinking about the time that you enter into retirement. Another statement I hear from people who are financially enslaved, it is just a loan, I can pay later. You're taking loans because you can. Take a loan because you have a plan for it. You have an investment that you're making and you're creating value for yourself. In fact, don't just take any loan. What kind of loan are you taking? What are you writing off your life to? Because remember, every single shilling or dollar or whatever currency you're having is equivalent to amount of work that you have given. So why would you give yourself, put work and pay for things that are interest for others? Foolish people pay interest, especially for nothing. Wise people earn interest. So are you among the foolish or are you among the wise? What are you doing with interest? Are you earning it or are you paying it? And are you taking loans because you can, because you qualify for, because you've joined a circle and everyone has a loan and you want to take a loan? Or do you take a loan because you have a plan for? Don't take a loan simply because now you have some extra money and you need to take a loan and feel like you have 1,000,000 shillings in the account. I remember somebody who took a loan because they always feel excited when they have this number of figures. You want 7 zeros in your bank account. You are taking a loan to have 7 zeros in your bank account. How foolish a statement is that? Do not take a loan because you can. Take a loan because you have planned, and whatever you are investing in is something that is of value to you. Don't make such statements that I will just take a loan and I can pay later. Especially if you continue taking loan repeatedly. You are repeatedly taking loans, mobile loans. I looked at a mobile loan and calculated the interest, and it was coming to more than 72% interest per annum. You are paying more than 72% interest per annum. You are surely a slave. Especially if that money you are using to eat, because you said, let's celebrate, it's December. Let's celebrate, it's my birthday. Oh, my friends are coming over. We need to enjoy a big one. You are in financial enslavement if you are taking loans because you can. Another statement that financial slaves make is, I need a big house. Who told you that you need a big house? Who told you that you need to have 10,000 square meters of house? Who told you that you need a 10-bedroom house? My friend, even if you have 10 children, you do not need a 10-bedroom house. You do not need it. You want it. The statement is I want. The statement is not I need. And especially if the back end financially does not support the front end in terms of your dreams. If your dreams cannot support such an investment, then don't do it. And if you're going to use all your money and all the investment that you have by the end of retirement, by the time you're retiring is a big house, that is a poor financial decision. That is enslavement waiting to happen. Do you know that maintaining a big house is also a cost? 1% of the value of the house that you have. Think about it. If the house that you have is worth 20 million, and is the only investment that you are making, and you're going to have to pay 1%, whether you like it or not, just by having it, 1% goes towards repairs and maintenance. It means that 200,000 every year you will be going to maintain this 20 million house. Some pipes will break, some tiles will break, some windows, panes will not work, some electrical repairs will be done, and this is assuming that the house is well made. And because you are a Kenyan and you know how Kenyan plumbers and and worksmen do, then you're probably going to look at an even higher figure. So are you investing so much money in a house simply because you say, I need a house? I remember somebody telling me that I need to build a big house in the village simply because when I die, when people are coming to bury me, they need to know that I had something. They need to know that I was somebody. You are building a big house in the village where you live 2 weeks in a year simply because people might come to your funeral and say that you had something for yourself. That house cannot be broken into pieces when your children are in financial trouble in your death and help them pay their school fees. It is going to be an eyesore to them. In fact, it's going to be an insult to their dreams and aspirations because they cannot break it down as easily to be able to fuel their dreams. And remember, a wise person leaves an inheritance for his children. And your big big house that is financially expensive and has taken all your asset is not going to be an investment that you're going to put for your children to inherit, because unless your 10 children are going to separate, each bedroom person get a bedroom, and unless they are using it, it will not help them at all. There are children who are left with big assets that are not going to help them, and the intention of every parent is that the inheritance that they leave is going to fuel the financial aspirations of their children. So you don't need a bigger house. You want one, but you don't need. And if you have to have one, have the back end already figured out. Have much more other investments so that your house is less than 10% of the investments that you already own. Otherwise, keep off, retreat, keep away. People who have such aspirations have thoughts of grandeur that bring them to financial enslavement. Don't be those people. The other thing is, people say such statements are, this is the best school. You want to take your children who are in primary school to the best school simply because you think that it is best because you're paying more school fees. Let me tell you, school fees is one of the financial pits that are going to keep people in poverty, especially people who are overexcited about taking their children to these schools because they might get networks. They're excited to take these children because they might be able to get value. They're excited to take these children to these schools because they might have more opportunity. They might bump into the child of a president. They might bump into the child of somebody important. Don't take your children to a school that every time you receive an invoice, you cringe, that you have to take a loan from your circle to pay these school fees for your children. That is financial enslavement by all means and all terms. Do not take your children to school that you are going to struggle, because remember, primary school especially, elementary school especially, whether they are learning French or swimming or they are going to Mombasa or Europe, is not going to help their financial endeavors in the future. In fact, for education, the one thing that is going to really improve their cases and their plans, if they go to a wonderful university. A wonderful university by all means can be able to propel your children and help them, but elementary education, no matter how much French they are learning, is not going to help them. In fact, how many people in their CV do they write which primary school they went? Think about it. They will have fancy English, but without a financially backed out plan to help them in their academics in the university and in the wonderful universities abroad, they will probably amount to much less, significantly more than the average child in a public primary school. I hope you are learning, you're becoming better in your financial affairs. Like, share, subscribe. If I have hurt you in any way, I am sorry, but I have to tell you the truth because the truth has to set you free. Thank you and enjoy your day.